If you think tarot is just about practicing mysticism or predicting the future, you're not wrong, but it's also not just about that. Like personal practitioners like us, for us, tarot can be a mirror, a tool for self reflection, a tool to find hidden parts of ourselves and to connect the dots and understand the world around us better and the way we react to the world. The way, this series that I'm doing is to show, because I discovered and I healed so much through tarot that I want to share this with everyone. Like, it helped me find familial wounds. It helped me understand why I react to certain things in a certain way. And I will talk about it across all these videos. Today, this is the first one that I'm doing. And today we are going to share how you can use tarot for personal development, some spreads for self-discovery, and how to make tarot part of your growth journey. So follow along. So the first thing you want to do is buy yourself a deck or some decks as you like. And yes, there is beginner-friendly decks like the Everyday Witch Tarot, which is very, very descriptive, very easy to understand, really cute images, nothing too triggering, and you will absolutely love it. But you could choose something like the Magical Hours Tarot also, depending on the kind of art that you like. It is completely your choice of, the art that speaks to you. There are many, 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 many decks out there. You could even choose something that is like Nightmare Before Christmas. This was one of the first few decks that I bought because it was available here. I have an availability issue in my region. And I did not at that time know about the elements very well of every suit. But I had bought this, and it just meant that I had to go into the guidebook a lot more. So I had to know from the guidebook that, like every deck comes with a nice guidebook. So here it would tell me that the tarot deck, the four suits are potions, candles, needles, and presents, which are representative of the traditional tarot suits of cups, wands, swords, and pentacles, respectively. So that's the only difference that would happen if you do choose a deck that is, where the suits are rewired or restructured or renamed, rather. Sorry. But this, it costs only $10, and I'm not saying there are no other books, but as a personal practitioner who's using this for self-reflection and you're just dipping your toes into, you don't want to get into really big books and get lost in it and get overwhelmed and then leave it. You want to dip your toes slowly, easily into this. So this is a book that costs $10. It really helped me because it has all of these, the spreads and stuff like that. It's really made for the beginner of beginners. That's what I would like to say. But it really acted like a quick reference guidebook. As you can see, I have marks everywhere because it would have 2 pages for every single card, including the minor arcanas. And it has upright key meanings, reverse key meanings, numerology. And what I really like about it is how it explained the elements to me so that I could associate the elements, because my neurodivergent brain, when I was first reading tarot, did not understand why wands was fire and swords was air. It just, my brain likes logical deduction and it just kept thinking that swords is fire. So anyway, I love, like for cups, it says an easy way to remember. Cups are associated with emotions, love, and feelings. And the way to remember is my cup runneth over. You can't pour from an empty cup. And is the glass half full or half empty? I love this because I am not someone who goes by memorization. I am someone who needs to understand something. And this was very, very easy to pick up. It even has a reflection here. What ideas could the Page of Swords be bringing to you right now? And general reading, love and romance, career, reverse, personal. So it's super easy. It's like a quick guidebook, but every deck also has its own guidebook that you can always refer to. And this is some of the essentials that you definitely need when you're starting this journey. Essentially, as you know, tarot is, each card here, like especially the major arcana, all of them actually are archetypes of human experience. Everything that we go through in life as a human being is there in the cards. And this is why it is very easy to find yourself in these cards of the tarot. For example, the High Priestess is one of the major arcanas. The major arcanas are the bigger events of your life. the bigger stories of your life. And I don't like to call them meanings, I like to call them as essences. The High Priestess is, for me, one of my favorite cards of the tarot, and it's an important card to me. When I first started learning tarot, this was one of the cards that kept showing up. And that's because, as an entrepreneur, for a long time, I did not trust my intuition. I went with logical sense only. And when I started getting in touch with my spirituality and my higher self again through tarot, the High Priestess would be in every reading of mine telling me that intuition is also a powerful player. So it's the essence of the card and the meaning, and just not by. So there's the meaning, right? Then there is the layer of the art. For example, let me see if I can find. Yeah, here's an example. The High Priestess here will say different things to you from the High Priestess from this deck. This is why I constantly tell you, choose a deck that resonates with you, because that's very important in tarot. Only then will the cards be able to speak to you. The third layer is context, but we'll come to that in another video. Otherwise, we'll be here forever. So that's essentially what it is, archetypes of human experience, which is why if you use tarot to find yourself, you will find yourself. You will find parts of you that you didn't even know existed. That's the beauty of tarot. And you will heal parts of you that have been left unhealed because you didn't look in those corners. They're like dusty corners of your soul that you didn't look at, and of your life actually, but they actually need healing. They need hugs, and they need to be told, I'm here now, I understand you, I see you. That's essentially shadow work. It's looking at your shadows and saying, okay, I get you, I understand where you're coming from. So now let's start and deep dive into tarot with a shadow work spread, shall we? Because why not? I didn't even know what is shadow work, but when I first started reading tarot, I just asked these deep questions, and later on, when I delved deeper into this world, I realized I was doing shadow work. Didn't know that. So let's see what we have. The first question let's ask is, what am I avoiding? And we have the Page of Swords. The next question we want to ask is, why am I avoiding it? Now, this is just a personal thing I do. I like to shuffle a little bit more just to get, just to ensure that the energies are equally spread. Oops. I'm not a very good shuffler, as you can tell. This is why I have to shuffle all the time. Anyway, here. Oh, I got a Three of Swords. So we have, what am I avoiding? Why am I avoiding it? Then we have, what truth do I need to face? And we got the Ace of Pentacles. And then, how can we integrate this truth into my growth? Do we have even place for that? Let's see. I don't want to show you my horrible shuffling, but let's make place for the fourth card. Ooh, and I got the World. So that's our spread. This is already, we've straight gone for the dusty corners, as you can tell. So here, for the first question, what am I avoiding? We have Page of Swords. This tells me I might be avoiding the discomfort of being a beginner. The Page of Swords is curious, and it's a curious energy. It's the energy of a student, of a learner. And I feel that. Let me give you an example. Like my YouTube journey, I have to be a learner again, even though I'm, an expert in other areas of my life, but here I have been a learner. So is that something that I'm avoiding? Now, this could also mean not that, oh, you're not going to go on that learning journey, but are you overthinking it? Are you not, when you're faced with new truths? In this, am I dodging situations that require me to ask questions because I don't want to face what I might find? Then why am I avoiding it? We all know the Three of Swords card. It is the Heartbreak card. Here, it is a headless heartbreak card. This is the Dream Keeper's Tarot, by the way. So, this card is pretty direct. I'm avoiding it because I don't want to be hurt. That's why I'm avoiding it. The Three of Swords is emotional pain. Facing certain truths could reopen wounds or give me new wounds, and a part of me doesn't want to go there. Next, we have, what truth do I need to face? Ace of Pentacles. The truth here is that there's actually an opportunity of growth and stability on the other side of this, because Ace of Pentacles is a seed. It's a fresh start, something real I can build. And I can't plant it if I am too scared to jump, because I'm overthinking and, oh, no one watches my videos. I'm doing this. It's not like I don't have imposter syndrome. I do. But I am here. I'm talking about this because that's what I'm avoiding every time. Like, these videos for me take 5 rounds because I think, is this even good enough? Is this idea good enough? And if I don't do that, and I do that because what if people don't watch? My heart's going to be broken. But the cards are telling me that the truth is that there's real opportunity here. And how can I integrate that into my growth? This is about closing a cycle with awareness. It's the world card. The world says integration happens when I can look at the full journey, the learning, the pain, the beginnings, and see it as complete. It's not about forgetting what can hurt me, but about weaving it into my story and not letting it be a wound. Would I not start? Would I not do this? I'll do it despite the 3 views, despite every single day. And I can't tell you guys this, um, you know, loud enough that every day I wake up now and I look at my YouTube channel and I see that the view has not moved from 3 to 4, and I start the day with heartbreak, and I yet come back and create new videos. And these cards are echoing my feelings to me that this learner journey, I am overthinking it so much because I'm so afraid to get hurt. But that doesn't mean I'm not doing it. For me, what I would take from this is, let's not overthink, because the cards are saying there is great opportunity. This is a great thing that I'm doing, that I'm bringing to the world, my perspective, that my passion. Tarot brought me into its world. I was not seeking tarot. Tarot sought me out. And these 2 cards say why, that I need to keep doing this, and that it's an entire circle and I need to integrate the pain of the 3 views, the overthinking of the Page of Swords, and continue working towards the Ace of Pentacles. And here, guys, I'm going to put this here. The Page of Swords is not just, it's also, I didn't know how to edit videos before I did YouTube. So there's also a learning curve there. Like, I'm constantly thinking about, how can I edit better? How can I present my ideas better to the world and say what I have to say? There's so many videos I've edited, I've put it up and then deleted it because imposter syndrome, what can you do? That's fine. But the Page of Swords is also teaching me a skill that I never thought that I would be learning. And that's also the exciting part of it. Like, every single day, I am, learning something new. And isn't just tarot, but it is also things like editing and stuff like that that goes along with being a content creator. Now, if you see my first video and if you see my latest video, you'll see the difference. Now, I'm not going to shuffle in on camera, but basically I'm using the Lost Oracle because I'm not really into visual pairings. I'm more into mood pairings or whatever I want to pair with. It doesn't matter. End of the day, I like to always use Oracle cards because I think they add a layer. Like this one says, Hand of Fire, stoke your inner flame. And then let's get another card in, shall we? Stardust and Soil, opposites attract. To me, this is also adding that layer of the fact that I'm really passionate about this. What tarot did to me, the way it healed me, the healing was what I was seeking. And I was trying various things. I didn't know it was there in tarot, and it did it for me. So that passion is why I started this channel so early in my journey and started sharing all this information. And this is why, something like Hand of Fire, Stoke Your Inner Flame goes with a reading like this. That if you're passionate about something, you have to be sharing about that. And Stardust and Soil, opposites attract. I would look at a reading like this and I would take it as, you can be the learner, you can be that person and still have something to add, to some value to bring to the table. And you can still sit here in a community of professional readers and readers of 30 years and all of that and still, add some value. And that is how I would take this entire shadow work reading. And it's literally going in and asking some uncomfortable questions. Like, really, what am I avoiding? It's always good to ask questions like that. And why am I avoiding it? Pretty much that, right? You do this in front of a therapist and you're just doing it with cards instead. Okay, now the next spread that we want to do is a goal oriented, a goal alignment spread. I'm again not going to shuffle here. You watch my table for 2 seconds. It's okay. And this is the first question. It's very, very simple. It's where am I now? I'm at 9 of cups. I don't think so, but okay, we'll get there. I've had a very, very stressful week. Entrepreneurship, guys, is not for the weak. No, no, no. It will teach you a lot of lessons. Okay, I'm just ranting now. I've just had a really, really tough week and a tough month. Anyway, the next step I need to take, strength, of course. The support I have available. Let's see what support I have available. Ha! The High Priestess. Okay, so here you see the first card being, where am I now? 9 of Cups. Then you have the Strength card for the next step I need to take. And then the third one, the High Priestess, which is the support I have available. When I pulled the 9 of Cups, it obviously surprised me because it's been a very tough month. The market is very slow, and even in correction, a newer company like ours, it gets into scraping the bottom of the barrel, honestly, and it's really like grinding teeth but holding on. There's a pause in the market which happens, around this time every year. But in growth work, this card, which is known as the wish card or something in tarot, is not just about, oh, your wishes are coming true, but it also kind of, especially in growth work, this card is about recognizing the deeper fulfillment that comes from knowing you're on the right path, even if the results aren't all here yet. And that's something that I resonate with, because just the month before, we were just talking about finally how we have ironed out some big issues that were crippling my company, and how we have found the right team, and how we are, this is the perfect set of people to go ahead with, etc., etc. So I understand, and this card tells me in this particular spread to focus on the wins and focus on what are the parts of my business that makes it fulfilling, and how amazing I feel that I have the right team now. The structure is perfect. The strength card here would talk to me. Strength is about endurance, and the strength showing up makes sense because right now this is what I need. I need to hold on. I need to pause. And, in this pause, rather, I need to endure the pause. Even if I look at, the revenue and, the Excel sheets and nothing is making sense. And, instead of panicking, I just need to hold on. And I really like this deck because it's so calming, right? And what support do I have available to me? The High Priestess, as you can see, she loves to show up, and obviously she wants to show up in my spreads on camera. But this is that support that tells me, the High Priestess in me is telling me that your intuition is right. Because my intuition is not going by the revenue forecast. My intuition feels, but we are doing good. And everything's going to work out. But I don't see any practical proof of the success right now. But my High Priestess as support here is telling me that you are going to be, you need to trust your intuition to go through this, not just the strength. Yes, you need the strength to endure it, but you also need to trust your intuition that everything's going to be fine. And that's how, in this sort of growth spread of aligning, on a day which was very stressful, and everyone's like, oh my god, nothing's working out. At this point, even I call my friends too, they're like, oh, it's really bad. Everybody's business is bad. So you can't even like trauma dump. You're talking to people who are going through worse things. So in a scene like that, I have a spread like this. It continues to align me to my goalposts, to what I've set out to do as an entrepreneur, as someone building a business. And this is how the cards kind of speak to you and tell you if you're on the right path and what you need to do to stay aligned to that path. You on a day like this, especially. Tarot and using it for self-reflection and personal growth, it's like you have to show up for it. You have to do this every single day. There was a time in my life I was meditating, and every single day I had to meditate. It's like going to the gym. Every day that you go, you learn a little more. It gets a little bit easier for you. You see, you learn and you do workouts that you didn't do on day one, right? And that's exactly how it is. Like, First, you're going to go by the meanings. Then you're going to go by, you're going to understand how the art plays a role. Then you're going to have symbology. Like, this is a deck that does not have the symbology, but symbology is also a very big part of tarot, and it also plays, it has a role. But you are going to understand more of it and be able to really use it. It's like therapy, right? Essentially. And you can't get the healing you want from therapy if you don't show up for it. If you go to a therapist once in 6 months, it's not going to help you. Like, I don't think the cards should trigger you, because I got this card today. You saw how I got it. I acknowledged it. I understood it. And that's essentially what it is. If you went to therapy, or if you are in therapy, you would see the similarities in it, because it's a lot similar. I'm not saying tarot is a medicine or anything, or something is better than other, but for somebody who has gone through a lot of struggle in life, has had to deal with loss and grief and I don't know what. I have sought out healing for most of my adult life, and nothing's healed me like tarot has. And all kinds of healing, all kinds of therapy, all kinds of growth work that you do needs consistency and needs you to show up, even if you don't know what it means. Get yourself a guidebook. This is obviously, look, I'm not promoting anything, but one second. As I said, every single deck comes with guidebooks. You may not know what Eight of Cups means. So you go into the guidebook of that deck, you look up Eight of Cups. Upright, the Eight of Cups appears when you know deep down you must leave a situation, even though it may seem good on the surface. You feel as though something is missing. It may have started out as something great, but you have slowly grown out of it, and it is time to let go and move on. So, the more you do this, the more not only are you going to understand what the cards mean, but the meanings are kind of going to change into, I don't know how to explain that, but it is going to change. You're going to see the layers that come in between that. And that's the exciting part, because every day that I come to tarot, it has something new to share with me. But you need to show up on this journey. You're not doing this to learn the history of tarot. It's great if you are. You're not doing it because you want to be a professional reader. You are doing this because you want to get to a more healed self. You want to grow as a person. And this is why you need to ensure that you understand the structure, use the tools that are there to understand, get a basic sense of the structure, to then take out what it is saying to you. Life is dealing, a lot of cards to you. And to make sense of the cards that life has dealt with you or is dealing, you ask these cards and they will answer. And don't always have to ask, is he thinking of me? Sometimes you can ask, what am I not seeing? And it will show you what you're not seeing, just as it showed me today. And then you can ask, what is there to support me? And it will also show you those parts of yourself. So I hope this helped somebody out there. And follow me and like and subscribe and join for more of these videos that I'm going to be doing to show how you can use tarot for personal growth. Bye.